We're kicking off this second day with AGU's President-Elect Brandon Jones. He's recognized for advancing undergraduate and graduate education programs in the geosciences, and he's been a champion for diversity and equity in all science. Given his background and his leadership role with AGU, we thought that Brandon would be the ideal person to talk to about this year's theme, Wide Open Science. Thank you so much for joining us today and taking the time to come speak with us. So let's say you're in the elevator and you've just got a few minutes to explain AGU and its theme. How would you explain this year's theme of Wide Open Science to someone?
Yeah, sure. So for me, wide open science means accessibility. It means what we're doing at AGU is creating a connective kind of framework for people to receive the science that we support our members in doing, but also opening up opportunities for more collaboration, which is going to make the science better overall. So that theme really resonates with our strategic plan and all that we're trying to do as an organization in the research enterprise.
As part of this, there's a real push for innovation, which happens to be today's theme for AGU. Tell us about some of the innovations that you're excited about and things that you see coming down the pipe that seem really, exciting to you.
Sure. So one that's coming to mind is in our publications realm, and that's a new journal on AI and machine learning. I think it just opened up earlier this month, and we already have some submissions coming in. So we're really excited about that. Since AI as an innovative tool is taking over the world, right?
Yeah.
And so how are scientists going to use this? How will it be integrated in learning and education for early career undergraduates, graduates that are coming into the Earth system sciences? And so to have a journal, an innovative journal that's dedicated to that particular tool in science and discipline, I think is awesome for AGU.
Yeah. And, especially at a time when there feels like there's a lot of tension in the world and a lot of divisiveness, like how do you see these kinds of innovations and collaborations making the world a better place, bringing people together?
So wide open science connected to the innovation is also about the people. Research science doesn't conduct itself. It's a social enterprise. And so if the people don't have access to what they need, the data or the information or the avenues to partnership and collaboration, then our science, not that it won't advance, but it can become kind of stymied. So in that innovative spirit, we're offering something that allows for people to come into, let's say, like a maker space, which is here at the meeting to really collaborate and start moving things forward with scale and speed.
So big gatherings like AGU 23 really do foster innovation and bring people together and get new ideas flowing. Can you think of examples from previous AGU meetings that sort of shine a light on this?
Sure. So AGU supports all kinds of meetings throughout the year. So of course, the annual meeting is the big one, but we support Chapman conferences and we partner with other organizations at AGU headquarters to host their conferences. So I'm thinking of one in particular. In 2022, AGU partnered with some other entities to host the Justice in Geoscience Conference. And that conference brought in all kinds of experts from around the world, really. And it was led by some of our early career members. And the way that conference was structured, the format of it was so different. There was science content, but there was a focus on self-care. There was a focus on professional development. There was a focus on building, as I mentioned, that network for the discovery science to meet solutions that are needed in communities that have been, say, disproportionately impacted by climate change and things of that nature. So there was intention, and it was a different kind of conference. It was innovative.
Yeah, that sounds amazing. And you said that it was sort of the next generation of scientists that are leading this. You've had a lot of experience in education. How do you see innovation helping the next generation of scientists and sort of what the next generation of scientists already knows helping innovate AGU as it is?
Sure. So I see it as an opportunity for the generations across the research enterprise to come together, listen, learn, innovate from each other. And connected to that, which I think is really important, is that the early career Earth and space scientists seem to be approaching science from that solution space. So yes, there's discovery. Yes, there's curiosity, which may bring people in and draw people in because there are questions. But the early career scientists want to take that whatever the data is or the products from the science and bring it to the communities to address whatever issues those communities are facing. And so it's more about the applied nature of science than maybe just the traditional. But they're both needed, they're both valuable. And as science is a social enterprise, how we balance that and how the generations can interplay between one another to make that happen, I think is where AGU can offer that space and place.
Nice. So science, not necessarily just for science's sake, but how do we make science make the world a better place?
Exactly.
So is there any one thing that AGU is doing that you're particularly excited about looking ahead into the future?
Yeah, I will say that we are making inroads into implementing our strategic plan. So the strategic plan came about in 2020. Of course, the world was on pause there for a couple of years, but AGU was not. And even though we may not have been meeting in person, such we were still behind the scenes making sure that we had our programs and initiatives and our volunteer leaders and the work that they're doing, everything aligning with that strategic plan. So I'm looking forward in 2024 to actually having a stronger implementation focus on how we can connect everything AGU is doing and supporting to that strategic plan.
Brandon Jones, thanks so much for your time. I hope it's a great conference.
Thank you.